Chair Lowenthal, thank you very much for your time and work in addition to the other committee members. My name is Richard Hackman. I'm representing the City of Palo Alto today. I'll keep my comments as brief as I can. I can assure you I've already shortened them. One quick comment. The City of Palo Alto is in the process of drafting a formal response letter to the 2012 draft business plan. However, we do advocate an extension of the deadline for those comments. So if you have any influence in that, we would appreciate your support. Okay. Quickly speaking, generally, the City of Palo Alto is still very concerned about the ridership projections and sources of additional future funding cited in the plan. More specifically, I have 4 brief points for you. Terminology is used in the plan that is not consistent with Prop 1A. Therefore, the City objects to the expenditure of Prop 1A funds on an ICS until at a minimum all the funding is identified for an IOS. Next, the plan appears as though it's capital constraint driven. The City feels this has been a continuing issue with this project and is being driven by American Recovery and Reinvestment Act funds.
Through the chair, excuse the interruption.
Yes.
I know you're trying to keep to your 2 minutes, but if you could take a deep breath, go a little more slowly with the acceptance of the chair so we could hear the 4 points. I'd like time to process
Certainly.
them. Thanks.
All right, I will do that.
Deep breath.
No, I'm sorry, I'm trying to race, but the City feels this has been a continuing issue with the project, and despite the CHSRA's desire to spend these funds, we do not feel it should be the basis for construction or environmental review decisions. Despite the next point, despite updates made to the ridership model prior to the publication of the plan, inherent flaws in that model still exist and are reflected in the CHSRA ridership assumptions. Until that is fixed, no assumptions about ridership reflected in the plan can be considered accurate or used for decision making. Finally, it's not clear who would be responsible to make up the funding gap if private funding doesn't materialize. And one more point, in the year of expenditure dollars, the total capital cost of completing the Beta Basin portion of the system is $54.3 billion. Thus, to complete what many would consider to be the minimum system necessary to avoid an operating subsidy, the CHSRA would rely on $30 billion in additional federal funding. With the current state of the federal government, that seems like it would be very unlikely. Thank you very much, and thank you, Senator Simitian, for a little time.